Special meeting of the Board of Education. It is May 18th, 2016, and we'll call this thing to order. At this time, we have 7 speaker slips. Generally, our rule is 5 per topic, but we're going to take all 7 today. So at this time, I'm going to close public comment requests and welcome everybody, and let's begin with these public comments.
Mike's falling apart. Our first speaker is Jeff Riley.
Thank you all. First of all, I do not condone or agree or disagree with how Ms. Dow went about this. However, you all knew about this on May 6th. My question is, why was we not notified till May 16th? This board has been in disarray since day one. It's in the papers. We get our information from the papers. Y'all are so vague with comments that come out. We don't, what is directory info? The media is what's telling parents what's going on. It's ridiculous. There's members in this school district that I know personally that were on an ISIS hit list. We are DOD in this community. Proprietary information. Some students are even in film industry. And you've ruined that. You've ruined the trust of these people. Now my questions, even though you all aren't going to answer, is how many times did this attorney supposedly supposed to redact info? You're telling us this one time. Has this board offered Ms. Dow an opportunity to give her computer to a third party, which this board should pay for, to verify that that information is not on her computer? To me, you all kind of think this is a joke, or you all would have let the people know. Now, my question on this closed session is that you state subsection D, Title II. Your attorney can affirm that you are in no litigation. FERPA, the Supreme Court, Gonzaga versus John Doe, states that you cannot be sued by any persons or persons. It's only for the Federal Board of Education. So why do you need a closed session? Why can't you talk to the public? This leadership is a joke. You need to get your act together. The board, I read through your manual last night, section 1 through 7. We have no procedures on this. The last update was 2008. There's still pages in 1991. Do y'all not think that we should update? I graduated in 1995. The world's changed. This leadership is ridiculous. Now, I'm from down south, so I'm going to give you all a little saying. This board couldn't lead a pack of starving wolves to fresh meat. Thank you.
Next speaker is Sylvia Brahman.
Well, I'm not going to be that hard on you, but I'm here for a couple of my neighbors that have children at Poway Unified School District schools and my own son. And I was just concerned whether or not I didn't have all the information this gentleman had, but did you get the information back from whoever you sent it to? And it sounds like it was the entire Poway Unified School District that was handed out. How did it happen? Was it a clerical error? Or was it a management error? Those are my questions. Thank you.
Next speaker is Blair Jennings.
I have only a couple of questions. The main one is, are we sure this is the only time that this has happened? And the second one is, are you going to do some sort of audit to go through and make sure that this never happens again? Thank you.
Our next speaker is Melissa Lazaro.
Hello, I'm speaking as a concerned parent here in Poway, and I've spoken at a couple of these meetings before. And my biggest concern is obviously children's information being released and who has gained access to that. If it is indeed true that it's gone to other parties over the last couple of years, as well as parent information, I raise the same concerns as him. Obviously, our military is very, very important to us and their security and their families' lives, as well as those that might be on any sort of witness protection or anything that might have been released. Child safety is always my most important concern. I hope that this, to me it's a tragic incident, really, because so many lives have been impacted, and I know that it's impactful to all of you as well, and the kind of stress that this puts on the district as well as all of you as board members. But I hope that this would trigger some sort of an increase in transparency between the district and the parents, and that we would start getting some really straightforward answers, that we would be quick to be on the parent side instead of running to the attorneys and having the attorneys submit letters to parents and to others who file a complaint against this district. I would like to know from the board what the response will be. Whenever there's a breach of any sort of information, whether it be a credit card or the bank has released some information, we've seen this happen time and time again because it's the world in which we live in. We see an immediate response from those corporations letting us know how they're going to safeguard our information. And so my expectation as a parent, it would be, and as someone who is a taxpayer in this community and who specifically moved to this community for this district, that there would be a thorough audit of where this information has been released to, and maybe we even need to go back before a couple of years ago. And we need to disclose that information to the community and let them know where their information has gone. We need to let the community and the parents know what you're going to do about securing this information, right, in the future. How are we going to respond to this? So when credit card companies and banks respond, right, they say, oh, we're going to give you this free credit protection, right, which then sometimes, you end up paying for a couple of years and you realize you're paying for it. And I don't know if that's necessarily the solution, but I would expect that this board would have a complete and exhaustive solution to protecting our children's information and to making sure that we have a proper technology plan in place, not just as it relates to curriculum, but to the overall security of the information that is out there as our children are communicating back and forth online all the time with Google Docs and Google PowerPoint presentations that they're doing, and this is all being submitted through electronics and through the technology that's being used here. So thank you.
Next speaker is Chris Garnier.
Good afternoon. My name is Chris Garnier. Most of you guys know me. Good to see you. General Shinsiski, who was our former Secretary of the Department of Veteran Affairs, and why it's important to me because I'm a disabled vet, lost his job, and he was told, quoted by President Obama, the reason why he lost his job was because he lost institutional control. He lost institutional control. Our former Secretary of the Department of Veteran Affairs is the Secretary Robert McDonald, who has made massive changes. Massive changes. We're here right now because our president has lost institutional control. President Michelle O'Connor has lost institutional control. And I call for you board to remove her immediately and put Charles Sellers as our new president of our Board of Education. We've already removed John Collins because of his unscrupulous behavior and his inability to lead. He's not a leader. He's what President Obama would refer to as a gentleman who has lost institutional control. That's why Dr. Robertson is sitting right here. What a great opportunity we have. A first woman, a person of diversity sitting right here, leading as the superintendent of our district. Is she the woman for the job in the long run? I don't know. But what a spectacular sight it is to see Dr. Robertson there. What a shame it is to see President Michelle O'Connor, as she's lost institutional control, as she's allowed our children's information to be sent out there and has given advice to the tech committee not to allow this information to go out because she is not transparent. She said many times while she was running, and I'm ashamed that I voted for you, that you would be transparent. You've lied to our community over and over and over again, ma'am. And I pray to God, just like President Obama got rid of our Secretary Shinsky, I pray to God that our board gets rid of you and places Charles Sellers in your position. Thank you, ma'am.
Next speaker is Kim Garnier.
Good afternoon. My name is Kim Garnier. The Shinoff Law Firm, John Collins, and the board president are 100% responsible for this security breach. What will it take to get rid of the Shinoff Law Firm? President O'Connor Radcliffe, you were elected to stop working with anyone associated with the cabs, and you failed. You were elected to get rid of John Collins, and you failed. You were elected to clean up the mess at Poway Unified School District, and you have failed. We have 3 board members who are fully responsible for this privacy breach because you all had the information regarding a corrupt law firm responsible for this privacy breach, and you failed to act. There's simply no excuse for this. 2 board members are serving this community and trying to protect taxpayers, teachers, parents, and students, and they're blocked every time by the 3 of you. Trustee Beatty served this community well as board president. She has helped so many people, fought to follow policy and be transparent. She refuses to give a vote to anyone associated with the cabs and fights for teachers, students, libraries, technology, bus service, the list goes on and on. Trustee Sellers has exhibited incredible integrity. His voting record proves this. He has been an outspoken critic of the Shinoff Law Firm after story upon story in the news surfaced about how detrimental the Shinoffs are for school districts. Trustee Sellers is fair, he's intelligent, he's a problem solver, and he fights to protect this community. While 3 board members vote to work with the same people involved in the billion-dollar cab or the Shinoff Law Firm, Trustees Beatty and Sellers stand up for this community time and time again. We need strong leaders, and we need a plan. I suggest Michelle O'Connor Radcliffe steps down as PUSD board president. Charles Sellers needs to take the reins as board president to lead our board and repair the massive destruction caused by John Collins and the Shinoff Law Firm. This is the final straw. Michelle O'Connor Radcliffe, you failed to protect our children from John Collins and the Shinoffs. Endangering our children with this security breach was 100% preventable. You had all the information you needed to fire Dan Shinoff. Take responsibility for this, President O'Connor Radcliffe, and step down.
Our next speaker is Mary Baker.
Good afternoon. So a lot of you know me as the co-founder of Citizens for Quality Education, and but I'm also a concerned citizen today. My kids are former students at the district, and I wonder, are their names in there, for example? And I get concerned about the reputation of the district, that our property rights will go down. I mean, our property rights, that's my other activity, that our property values will be decreased as a result of this breach. Why would people want to come here if the school board and the district staff are not compliant with the very many privacy acts, including FERPA? So this is a breach of FERPA. FERPA is the Family Education Rights Privacy Act. Generally, schools must have written permission from the parent or eligible student in order to release any information from a student's education record. However, FERPA allows schools to disclose those records without consent, and then there's a list of parties. Ms. Dow's FOIA request is not included in that list of people or groups who are allowed to receive that information. She's getting very criticized for having gone to the DA with this information, but really she's doing exactly what a citizen stakeholder should do.
Yeah, that's right.
She is she's a watchdog. She's watching what's going on. It's easy to, sometimes I think people think it's easier to sweep things under the carpet and just sort of brush over it and think maybe this is the only time this has ever happened, it'll never happen again. But what Ms. Dow did is she did the hard thing, and she went out and publicized this at the risk of the reputation of the school district, and exposed this breach. This is an incredible concern. And I guess what I'm asking the board today, and what I've been asking a lot for quite some time, and going back to Todd Gutchow, who when we first approached the last board about the implementation of Common Core, one of our questions was, what are you doing to secure the privacy of our students? Because they changed the FERPA rules with the onset of Common Core to allow a greater, a much wider latitude of parties that could get this information. And when we pressed Todd Gutchow and Mark Davis about this, their response, after doing some research and talking with the staff, was, your students' information is secure. And when it leaves here, it's out of our hands, whatever the state does with it. We thought that was an outrageous comment. So now here we are a couple of years later, and the information, in fact, is not secure at all, even at the local district. So I'm asking this board to work together to put the pressure on the staff to set policy for transparency and proper procedures for this. This is your job, to lead the staff and set the policies that they then will follow, and then to hold them accountable to that. And what we've seen for several years is lack of accountability and lack of force by the board as a whole, not as one group over another, as a whole, to come together to hold the staff accountable to the policies that you are trying to implement. So anyway, I wish you luck. This is a terrible situation, and I really hope, do yourselves a favor and really go after this with a vengeance. You will win points with the public if you do this. Thank you.
Our last speaker is Gabrielle Dow.
Hi, and thank you for meeting on this important topic. I'm exhausted from donating not just my time to my children's school, to the school district, and fundraising, helping in the classroom in any way that I can. And this really just is too much for one person, I can tell you that. And so I hope that more parents pay attention. I hope that you listen to the community, because it's one issue after another, and people are treated as if they're an annoyance for raising issues, but in fact, all of us parents want to help. But my experience in seeing other parents engage with the district is that if they ask for a reading assessment, if they raise an area of concern, they end up having to get attorneys. They end up having to pay tens of thousands of dollars for special advocates. That's money that should be saved for their college. And so this is just hopefully a wake-up call that we cannot go on like this. I've only really been mired in all of this for a year or two, and it is absolutely exhausting. And I'm not going to let TJ Zane off the hook here. Nobody has said that the two board members who continue to support John Collins and who refuse to do proper investigations are TJ Zane and Andy Patapow. Michelle O'Connor Ratcliffe at least shows up to our technology advisory meetings. She has put herself out there, I believe, to try to help. And I voted for her as well. And of course, behind this mandate of more transparency, of stronger taxpayer protection. And it's really time for the board to come together to listen to Kimberly Beatty. She's the one board member that the very first meeting I attended, noticed that she actually listens to people. She actually responds and asks questions directly. It's not this automatic email that we get from TJ. I don't check this account. I'm not available. And Charles Sellers also. I have had less experience with conversations here at the board meetings, but I'm proud of what the two of you have done, and I've experienced some of the blowback and some of the personal attacks, and it is just horrible. It really is. It's something that nobody should have to endure when what they're trying to do is help. I have prepared a statement for the governor's office at their request of what exactly has happened here at Poway. From my understanding, it goes all the way back to 2013 when the board president at my school foundation asked me to serve on the board to help figure out if the money we were raising for iPads was being used efficiently, because there was no direction from the district. Then I agreed last year to serve on the Education Technology Advisory Committee. And as a result of being stonewalled and not receiving answers from that committee, all of the committee members submitted questions. Michelle tried to get answers for us. Kimberly Beatty tried to get answers. The superintendent staff would not provide them. So finally, months later, I wrote the Public Records Act request. It never should have come to that. So I'm providing this statement to all of you. I hope it is helpful. I would like to provide it to the media. I would like to provide it to the public. And I would like us to finally be transparent and open in solving these serious problems. Thank you. Just for everybody to know that the laptop has been delivered and is with the district attorney's office. So this is a liability that was put upon me in receiving this. And everything is with the district attorney's office. So I hope that that helps to answer that question from the public. But again, one CD, one laptop doesn't mean that the information hasn't already been shared in multiple places for years.
So that concludes our public comments here. We're going to adjourn into closed session to discuss this. Before we do, I want to thank everyone here for being here, for showing that you care and you're interested, and thank you all for your comments today in particular. The board here, and I think I speak for everyone, really appreciates all of you, and we hope to come out of our closed session today with some additional answers that we're going to be able to share with the community and all of the parents in particular. That I think is all of our goal coming out of today. So again, thank you very much for being here, and at this time we're going to adjourn to closed session. Thank you.